The Democrats kept the government shut down for 43 days. Flights were delayed, SNAP benefits ran dry, small business and housing loans were frozen. But one major component of life for American families went virtually unaffected: education. The federal Department of Education furloughed 90% of its staff. And what happened? Nothing. Schools stayed open. Students went to class. Teachers got paid. The shutdown proved our schools don't depend on Washington bureaucracy to function.
That was Education Secretary Linda McMahon explaining how the history-making government shutdown proved that there is no need for a federal education agency.
And now the President Trump and his secretary, they are looking to make good on their promise to dismantle the Education Department. They're shuffling some of the agency's duties to other arms of the federal government.
Right. This isn't the first time they've been talking about it, so not a surprise here. But the Labor Department, for example, will now adopt the job of supporting elementary and high schools and expanding access to college. A child grant program for college students and foreign medical school accreditation will be taken over by Health and Human Services. And international education grants will go to the State Department.
Let's talk about it with spokesperson for the Defense of Freedom Institute and former Education Department Press Secretary, Undersecretary Betsy DeVos, Angela Morabito. Plus, we have Senior Fellow for American Culture Project and Visiting Fellow for American Institute for Economic Research, Corey DeAngelis. Pleasure to see you both. Corey, so I pulled some stats here talking about dismantling the Education Department. The nation's report card that came out in September, 35% of high school seniors only proficient in reading. That is the lowest score since the assessment began in 1992. So if the Education Department isn't facilitating a smarter generation of Americans, what exactly is it doing?
It's stealing money from American kids and teachers out of the classroom and shuffling it to useless bureaucrats pushing paper in Washington, D.C., thousands of miles away. The word education isn't in the U.S. Constitution. We should have gotten rid of it a long time ago. It should have never been created in the first place. It started in 1979 as a political payoff by Democrat Jimmy Carter to the teachers union. So, of course, right now, the only people complaining about this move to further dismantle the department are the teachers unions and the politicians that they control. This is their baby. The teachers unions would like to lobby one centralized institution, the Department of Education, as opposed to trying to have their political sway over multiple entities. So, of course, you have Becky Pringle of the NEA freaking out right now. She makes over $500,000 a year through union dues to push far left politics into the classroom. But President Trump, Secretary McMahon, they know that parents and children are the ones who should receive that money, and parents should be in the driver's seat. And so Linda McMahon, in this next step to dismantle the department, will return education to the states and ultimately to kids and their parents.
Angela, we want to share this. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren, well, she, no surprise, responded to the latest moves by the Trump administration to dissolve the Education Department. In a statement, Warren says, quote, "The Trump administration is waging an illegal assault on public school kids. Instead of working to lower costs for Americans, the Trump administration is hell-bent on punishing underserved students." Angela, based on the fact that most of these programs that already exist are just simply going to be run by other agencies that are probably better equipped to run them, makes no sense with Senator Warren's comments.
Yeah, Senator Warren is out of touch with reality, and she's out of touch with what students need. The federal Department of Education has had 45 years and $3 trillion to boost student achievement. It has failed. A couple generations ago in this country, we were teaching Latin and Greek in high school. Today, you've got Harvard teaching remedial math. So no one on either side of the political aisle can pretend that the Department of Education is working. Now, there's another part to her lie here where she says this is going to be taken out on kids and students will pay the price. No, this doesn't change a penny of federal funding. These are common sense partnerships that begin unwinding that knot of federal control over education. But there is not a single dollar of funding that's going to stop flowing because of yesterday's changes.